the Duke of Westminster, that's Gerald Cavendish Grosvenor, he lives in a big mansion in Chester in the north, and he owns Mayfair. And so what I like to do is collect the surface of Mayfair and then like post it to him at his residence. So if people could help me by doing that as well, his address is there. And because for him it's just an asset on an Excel spreadsheet, and he doesn't get to enjoy the sensory pleasure of being in a real place. And I imagine his feet aren't really on the ground, and so I've literally allowed him to keep his feet on the ground.
A lot of different kinds of bread here. You can kind of choose whichever one you want, which even you can try a different thing every day if you want. I mean, it's a shame that they threw us out, because really we were just celebrating what they're about, that kind of diversity and the kind of choice that they offer to literally taste the whole world. The net curtains became fishing nets, and eventually a face did appear. I'd been staring into someone's house for several minutes, and an old lady came up, grimaced through the window, and then opened the front door and confronted me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm just looking," and it's part of my research into William Burroughs, the writer and artist. And she said, "Well, I know the work of Burroughs, I've read some of his poems, but I don't see how you, standing outside of my house, looking in through the window, through a cardboard tube, I don't see how that is relevant to William Burroughs." There's a monument to a monument, so it's a piece of text that's framed, and it says, "There was a monument here to Dr. Salter, the philanthropist that lived in this area a few hundred years ago." This is just part of the thing I put on my feet to try and make my footsteps as loud as a giant. Sort of a bit of a megalomania thing. This is a megalomania thing as well, because it's dig a hole in the ground so I can put my head in it and try and wear the entire earth as a giant.
A lot of fish are like swans that they marry for life.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It's lovely, isn't it?
It's lovely. It's like the old days, it is.
It's a great deal of fun.
Anyway, he chopped it up into pieces and proceeded to post it bit by bit. He didn't realise that each one was being intercepted in the post office.
Well, I suppose because of the smell of the burning, I was thinking of a kind of waste ground where everything had been burned down, and then this sort of survivor.
The way out of that is to be in a state of perpetual war, so that you channel production into producing armaments.
And then there was utopia kind of there, in between the potato and the smash, but the smash sort of reversed all that. There was a point where this togetherness and this sharing and this kind of communication went right back, and now there's only, it's called bachelors, so it kind of brings that loneliness and isolation without.
Einfach aktiv mit Fleckentferner und bester Leuchtkraftformel.
Strahlt wieder. Na, dann ist das jetzt dein Job.
I go to a market, like often it's Ridley Road Market in Dalston, and I go to like an African food stall or an Asian food stall, and I buy the most unfamiliar vegetable that I can find, and then I don't know what this one is, but that's one of them, and then I smuggle it into a Tesco's or an Asda or Morrison's with the rest of my shopping, just as a kind of alibi. And then I attempt to buy it with the rest of my shopping. So it like throws the whole system into chaos because the cashier can't categorise it, they don't know what it is. Sometimes they do, but because it's not in the system, they have to ask like a supervisor or a manager, and I've been lucky enough to meet the manager of the Oxford Marks and Spencer's. If that gets right to the top, if you do it in there, I'd encourage you all to start doing it, because it's difficult to try to overthrow capitalism on my own. I'm not necessarily trying to, I'm just questioning. I can't really promise any other alternative that would be better.
See, you notice things all around you. Look, there's a pink scooter there. A little bit of ornamentation can really help to cheer everything up, can't it? Let's follow these girls. Okay, I think they saw that we're following them, so it's probably not a good idea.